Hello, it's Jeremy Fisher here reading from my book, Why Do I Need a Vocal Coach? Stories, Tips and Hacks from the Studio of a Voice Expert. I need a song that shows everything. One of my clients arrived with the intention of auditioning for 4 different musicals in one audition. The panel she was playing to was ostensibly there to cast Avenue Q, but many of the panellists have interests in other shows. She had decided to aim for the 4 main shows that they work on: Avenue Q, Mary Poppins, Phantom of the Opera, and Les Miserables. Now, in terms of style, these 4 are about as far apart as you can get and still be called musicals. Okay, granted, there are no rock-based shows there, but it's still quite a mixed bag of music styles. Phantom is operetta contemporary lyrical. Les Miserables is what we call in the Successful Singing Auditions book a verismo musical, gritty and dramatic. Mary Poppins is an old-fashioned classic book musical, think Richard Rodgers music, although updated by Stiles and Drew. And Avenue Q is a popular Disney-type musical with a cabaret feel and satirical lyrics. In other words, there are no 2 songs in existence that will cover all those bases. This is a problem I often see in my studio. I need a song that shows everything! Well, first, there isn't one. And second, if you try to show everything in 3 minutes, you'll end up showing nothing particularly well. In this case, we decided that the client wanted to aim for the more classic end of the spectrum, so we chose songs to target Mary Poppins and Phantom of the Opera. Auditioning for Phantom of the Opera. Phantom is an interesting one. Having been part of many thousands of auditions for Phantom in London, I know that there's quite a wide range of repertoire that can be used. Successful singers in the past have used opera, operetta and Gilbert and Sullivan, or popular ballads, or standards with a story such as Gershwin or Cole Porter. With the client aiming at Christine, we decided on How Could I Ever Know from The Secret Garden. This is a lyrical ballad with a reasonably wide range. The role of Christine was written specifically for Sarah Brightman's voice, and although Christine famously has a high E to sing and a cadenza going to a D6, most of the role sits in the middle and lower part of the range. There's quite a lot of narrative writing, and the song from The Secret Garden covers this. You can often match songs from different musicals or even decades by choosing something to focus on. In this case, I chose Christine's dressing room scene as the basis for repertoire choice. She sings to Raoul about Little Lottie, a storybook tale that reflects her own life and tells him of her new teacher. The text style, both narrative and personal, vocal range, and the general feel of the writing has similarities to the song How Could I Ever Know? I will also consider not just the vocal range, but the tessitura. This is the area within the vocal range in which most of the song sits. If the total range was, say, low C to upper G, but most of the song sits between low D and the D above, with only a few upper and lower notes, the tessitura is said to be D to D. Again, the tessitura of both songs are similar, so this, together with the feel and emotion of the writing, makes one a good choice for the other's audition. Auditioning for Mary Poppins. With the ballad chosen for the Phantom of the Opera audition, see previous section, we turned our attention to the Mary Poppins song. We were looking for an up-tempo song with a classic book feel. As well as the usual show songs. Now I've lost my place. As well as the usual show songs, Gershwin, Porter and Novello are usually... Okay, start that one again. As well as the usual show songs, Gershwin, Porter and Novello are usually a useful source of classic material. The client already had a song in her database that we both felt would fit the bill. Don't Look at Me That Way is a song by Cole Porter from the show Paris. It's an up-tempo, flirtatious song saying, I love whatever you do, and I particularly lose control when you look at me like that. This client is Canadian and is quite used to singing with an American accent. However, for Mary Poppins, I felt it best to sing with an English accent. We spent a couple of sessions exploring the differences between the accents. She is remarkably quick, and after 2 sessions had the accent just about nailed. The dialect for this show is an interesting one. It's not hepelicht, and it's not quite standard British as I hear it, but a gentle cross between the two. Having nailed the accent, we focused on the character. Mary Poppins is not flirtatious, although she can be fun. So I made one small adjustment to the song. The opening lines of the chorus, "I think you're great, I think you're grand, and I don't mind if you hold my hand," were sung straight. But the change came in the title line, "But don't look at me that way." Instead of being sung as a come-on, we changed the subtext to, "Bert, stop that at once." It gave much more of the flavour of the British nanny. Think Jo Frost in the television series Super Nanny, and worked very well in the song. This is the kind of work I really enjoy, altering the song's subtext to suit the job you're auditioning for. I'll be returning to more coaching session descriptions like this later in the book. To find out more, get yourself a copy of Why Do I Need a Vocal Coach? In ebook, paperback or audiobook format, or to work with me in person, go to bit.ly/workwithjeremy.